Yeah, group 8. So
Here they come.
Hi, can everyone hear and see me good?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, good. My name is Joseph, and we're Group 8, and we're doing the Council of Europe Action on Trafficking in Human Beings. Here you can see our group. And of course, the purpose of the Council of Europe Convention on Action in Human Beings is to stop trafficking in human beings, and to identify and protect the victims of trafficking, and to defend their rights, and to promote international support against human trafficking. Just a quick note, the Council of Europe is the main organization, and this action on trafficking in human beings is just a very specific thing that they do in addition to cyber crimes and drugs and a whole host of other activities. So the main organization, the Council of Europe, was formed shortly after World War II with a strong focus on European unity and protecting human rights and freedoms. And the Council has been very active since the late 1980s, especially with the fall of the Soviet Union, in combating human trafficking. And around this time it was realized that human trafficking is a real, serious and widespread issue. And they call it the new slavery. So in the beginning they focused solely on women. So they organized a seminar on action against trafficking in women in 1991. And they formed a group of experts on trafficking to investigate this issue further and to come up with recommendations. So then they published a plan of action with recommendations to member states regarding legislative and judicial punishments for trafficking, and for assisting and supporting and rehabilitating victims, in addition to prevention programs. However, a lot of this was just recommendations or actions here and there. They needed legally binding action. So in 2005 they got together in Warsaw in Poland, and they adopted the Council of Europe Convention on Action Against Trafficking in Human Beings. And this was the first treaty in Europe in this field. So, it's a very significant action. And this went into effect in 2008, and they began monitoring in 2009. And just a few months ago, in September 2011, they published their first general report of what they do, and reports of how countries here and there are implementing these policies. Then we have Austria and Slovak Republic and a couple other countries. And structure.
Hi, my name is Will Felder. I'm going to talk briefly about the structure of the Council of Europe. It has two major bodies, a consultative branch and also an action-based branch. The action-based branch is the Committee of Ministers, and the consultative is the Parliamentary Assembly. And also members and important players are the Secretary General and the European Court of Human Rights. The Council is often compared to NATO and the European Union, but it's actually a completely separate entity, even though all the 27 members of the European Union are members of the 47 states represented in the Council of Europe. Their main function is to hold nations accountable, and that has been called into recent question because of they're more criticized as just a form of talking points, and they don't really take much aggressive action. And the ideal is contradicted by the isolation of accountability in political forums and only being discussed. The recent issue brought up was the CIA's interactions with the Swiss Senator Dick Marty. And the Parliamentary Assembly is the most political body. It has 5 basic political organizations that they try to disperse equally to have equal opinion from each nation. And the Committee of Ministers is composed of 47 foreign ministers and their representatives, and they try to focus on the details, the action plans, and work out the workload that they need to implement to take care of these problems. On the slide, you'll also see the Bureau, the Standing Committee, the Joint Committee, and the Monitoring Committee all listed. Those are just kind of subcommittees that are composed of administrative groups, as well as the Standing Committee, which is just meets twice a year when the council's not in session. And their main function is just to monitor internally what's going on, as well as externally implement issues with the Committee of Ministers.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, the purpose of the Council of Europe Conventions Against the Human Trafficking is to make awareness raising for the victims. Victims of trafficking should be recognized. Victims receive physical and psychological assistance. Victims are allowed 30 days to recover. And trafficking is a crime.
Okay.
There's other branch from the convention center called GRETA, and it stands for Group of Experts on Action Against Trafficking in Human Beings. And it's independent mechanism to monitor, implement, and they do like they go like every different countries, and they like report all the actions that have been done in the country. And the Lestrada thinks believe that GRETA can become a very important and influential mechanism to protect the rights of human trafficked persons. And the capacity can promote the human rights-based approach to combating trafficking in human beings. The GRETA first general report was
For some information on Moldova, Anastasia worked on it. Please continue. Please continue.
Oh, okay. The first report was happened 2 months ago, September 2011. Action and Prevention of the Council of Europe Convention on Action Against Human Trafficking. It's signed by 34 countries in Europe and first 10 countries that includes Moldova.
Do you have one more thing to say?
Yeah, just.
Okay, just one concluding remarks, and then we're going to bring up Group 8.
Just to conclude the presentation and highlight the importance of GRETA, its major function is holding up the Convention of Human Trafficking, just to put Moldova and human trafficking into the issue a little bit. The importance of Moldova's ability to cooperate with NGOs. They are highly revered for their ability to work with NGOs in the Council of Europe actually praises them highly, and that's something that you guys are doing really well. And overall, just GRETA is the place that oversees all these objectives of the convention, not as much the issue of the implementation, just the report and awareness and prevention. Okay, thank you.